Welcome to solverfy.
For this question, we know that 76% of Americans prefer to buy an American automobile. But we want to see if the true proportion is actually less than that. So we have a study done with a sample size of 56, and we get that 38 of those 56 people would prefer to buy an American automobile. We want to test this at an alpha level or a significance level of 0.01. To start, we find our claim. Our claim is the same thing as our null hypothesis, and it's also the same as what we are given. So we are given that the true proportion of Americans who would prefer to buy an American automobile is 76%, or 0.76. We want to test if the true proportion is actually less than 0.76. So that's our hypothesis, our alternative hypothesis. Next, we need to find our critical values. We have an alpha level of 0.01. And since this is less than, we have a right-tailed test. So our critical value will be negative 2.33. We now need to calculate our test value. So first we'll find our sample proportion. That's p hat, which is equal to x over n, which we have here as 38 over 56. And that is equal to 0.68. We then get a z. We have to find our z value. That's equal to p hat minus p over the standard deviation, which is p times 1 minus p over n. We have 0.68 minus 0.76 over our standard deviations, 0.76 times 1 minus 0.76 over 56. And we end up with a z value of negative 1.40. So next we need to make our decision as to whether or not we can reject the null or fail to. To start, we will draw it out. We have a normal curve with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. Now let's draw in our critical value of negative 2.33. And shade in our critical region. And next we'll draw in our test value, negative 0.4. It's about here. Now we can find our p-value, probability that z is less than or equal to negative 1.4. we get a p-value of 0.15. Since our test value falls within the non-critical region, which I will shade in with blue, and since the p-value of 0.15 is greater than our alpha of 0.01, we fail to reject the null or the claim. So to summarize, we say that we do not have enough evidence to conclude that. Then I had written the context up here as p, the true population proportion. So I'm just going to write context here, because this is where you would write that. Is less than the claimed 76%. And that's how you answer that question.